Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the United Way for our latest Manchester United news roundup and a bit of a debate. You might get a few shocking debates coming out every now and again on the channel. Again, it's Saturday. Again, we all know we bring out the news roundup show as late as we can. 9:30, 10 o'clock is the latest we can go here on the United Way. So it's the most we can do. It really is the most we can do. But as you know, the news roundup is basically news. That we try and get all the news that we've had on Saturday, and again, it'll be the same on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Basically, all the news we can get. There may be a day where we miss a news show, but we try and make up for it. We try and make up for it. But again, before we get stuck to the video, please like the video, share the video around friends and family and all that good stuff, and hit that big red subscribe button. You can also follow our socials. Links in the description. Be much appreciated. I think we're only 4, 5, 6 away from 800 subs, which is good. Only comparing that, the channel is, would it be less than a year old? A year old now, I'd say it is. It's not bad. It's not great, but look, we have to take positivity out from somewhere. But I do want to start off, and I want to talk about this lad on my screen. Your screen, my screen. He goes by the name of Matteo Maggia. So coming out from Fabrizio Romano earlier on today, he said Sevilla agree a deal to sign Matteo Maggia from Manchester United on a permanent transfer. Documents to be signed next week. He says the striker will leave the club on a free permanent deal as the contract was due to expire in June. The club will have 25% sell-on clause for Matteo Maggia. So again, if you don't know what the 25% sell-on clause is, and I'm pretty sure you do, but if you don't know, I'll tell you what it is. Basically, if Sevilla sell him, we get 25% of whatever they sold for him. I'm not sure whether that sell-on clause will be in the contract if he moves on. But at the moment, I just think, basically we get 25% sell-on clause if he has on elsewhere. So I think we get, whatever they get from, we get 25% of or some sort of like that. But that's pretty much what it is. That's pretty much what it is. Again, obviously that didn't seem to be in the plans of Manchester United. Yeah, so again, like I said, the sell-on clause is basically compensation, all that good stuff. Now, moving on, I will speak about Hannibal Mejbri, the Manchester United midfielder. Footy Insider came out and said Hannibal Mejbri has said yes to a proposal from Sevilla as he closes in on a loan move. The 20-year-old is expected to join the Spanish side on an initial loan move with a view to signing him permanently in the summer. Now, again, I do like Hannibal Mejbri. I did say in previous videos that the only downside Hannibal being at Manchester United is his favourable position, which is the 10. You have Bruno who can play there. You have Mason Mount who can play there. Eriksen who can play there. Doesn't play there regularly now, but he can play there. McTominay, for some reason, gets his head in there. Not a lot, but he does. Listen, that's pretty much the news about Hannibal. I wouldn't like us to. I would have preferred him to go on loan in the Premier League if he was in Ten Hag or Manchester United's plans or Manchester United and Hannibal's plans for the future. But again, look, maybe he's not in. Maybe Hannibal just wants to leave Manchester United, get a lot more game time. And listen, who knows? Maybe that is the case, or maybe Ten Hag just doesn't have him in his plans. It wasn't really in the plans of Solskjaer, or he wasn't really in the plans of any Manchester United manager, to be brutally honest with you. Even when Ralph Rangnick took over as interim and Michael Carrick took over for 2 or 3 games, so maybe he's just not in the plans. He is a good player, Hannibal. Is he good enough to be a Manchester United player and grow and grow and grow? I don't know, but the thing about him is he's aggressive, like you've seen in previous games. He's passionate and he gets stuck in. I do rate Hannibal. But again, is he good enough to be a Manchester United player? Some don't rate him, but like Alvaro Fernandez, who I really highly rate, who I'm pissed off that we're getting rid of him. Alvaro Fernandez. So again, I'd rather Ten Hag come out and say, well, look, if you do let him go on permanent deal, it's just not any plans. But again, it looks like it'll be a loan with an option to buy in the contract. Simon Jones from the Mail Sport has also said Man United are expected to Hannibal Mejbri to join Sevilla after the Sports game. So again, we have Tottenham on the Sunday, which is tomorrow. Depends what this video is out on the 13th. So the 14th, he will pretty much be. He may or may not be even in the squad for that Tottenham game. But look, let us know what your thoughts. Give us your thoughts about Hannibal Mejbri going to Sevilla on loan. Let us know in the comments below. So yeah, I mean, obviously this is about Berbatov. He came out, he spoke about Rashford, Martial, Garnacho, Anthony, pretty much those sort of players. That's all he spoke about, and I'm gonna go through with you. But again, like I said, there's not much news that came out today, which is Saturday. So I actually do apologise. That's what we kind of added the debate into. So don't come at me. Basically, what I'm doing is I'm just trying to find a bit of news. So I do apologise. That's the only news I found. And I want to give you news that is some sort of reasonable and realistic and trustworthy, you could say. But take it with a pinch of salt. It's kind of scraping the barrel, if you get me. So, Dimitar Berbatov, he said, right now at this moment, Rasmus Højlund has Marcus Rashford, Alejandro Garnacho and Anthony around him. But unfortunately, all of them are not producing what people expect, which is goals, assists, runs, and penetration. He says the team suffers because there are not enough goals, but you need assists, and it's all connected in a way. He says if we're talking about the strikers, Rasmus Højlund needs to stay strong in the mind first and foremost. Again, I agree. I mean, Rasmus Højlund came in and he has only scored 6 goals for Manchester United, 5 in the Champions League, a competition we're not in anymore, unfortunately. 1 in the Premier League, which came against Aston Villa a few weeks ago. Again, Rashford for me I have the attacking line. He has the most experience, right? He has the most experience. He's kind of the player that you need to look up to if you need to in the attack line. Rashford for me acts like one of the babies in the team. I know I like Marcus Rashford, I really do, and I hope he can turn his form around. Just like Højlund and Anthony. Again, Garnacho hopefully just keeps getting better. I have no problem with Garnacho at the moment. Again, you can't criticise Ahmad or Pulisic because they're not really getting into the team, which makes me wonder. But yeah, Rashford for me, you can be selfish, a bit lazy. When he loses the ball, there's just no tracking. There's no eagerness to win it back. There's no tracking back. There's no wanting to win the ball. His decision making has been poor so far this season. Rashford last season was unstoppable, incredible. I mean, who knows what would have happened last season if he wasn't bagging the goals in. And I did say on numerous streams, and go back and check the streams last season as well. I just hope Marcus Rashford doesn't go back into that bad form again. I did say, and actually, it doesn't make me proud, but it makes I actually not I've seen it coming, but it's just Rashford for me can be very inconsistent. The COVID season he done well. The season after that, poor. Ollie gets sacked, doesn't really do well on the Rangnick. As interim manager, Ten Hag comes in, Rashford hits the ground running, bagging goals left, right, and centre, doing everything right, nothing wrong. Incredible player. Now, this season, he's doing everything wrong and looks he's useless. Not useless, but you know what I'm trying to mean. He worries me. Like Marcus Rashford worries me a lot more than Højlund. Anthony worries me as well, obviously. But what the amount of chances that Manchester United have created this season. Like if we finish the chances we've gotten, which have been a few, and there've been times where we haven't been creating, and I've been like, come on, let's create. I don't want to see us create a lot more, obviously, but I can give you back to games where we've had chances that any other team puts them in the back of the net. Any other team, the chances we create and get, if any team gets them chances, they finish it. And it's very, very annoying that if our attack could finish, we may or may not be in a better position than we are now. Who knows? But the goal difference in the Premier League is is poor. -5 goal difference, by the way. Just to throw that in there, like it really isn't great. And but Berbatov spoke about Garnacho and Rashford. He says, I think Marcus Rashford, who has the most experience among those players, needs to take charge and be more mature. He needs to lead, and Garnacho, who was very young, needs to be in and around them because he's playing football in his pursuit way. He loves to attack, to try with the opponent and dribbles past them without thinking much about tactics. They all need to up their game. Again, look at that Garnacho. There's no with Garnacho. There's no overthinking things. There's none of that. And maybe it's best not to think twice. But I feel like some of our attack, such as Rashford, Anthony, Rasmus Højlund, even the poor old fella. It's actually getting to the stage where I'm feeling sorry for poor old Rasmus now. Honestly, I couldn't feel any more sorry for him. Sean Millis. I mean, we might have to bring in him, the Rasmus Højlund so-called lookalike. Get him up top. Give him number 7. Who knows? But for me, I just don't know what the problem is. We brought in Benny McCarthy, I think it was. And he was meant to be the top dog, the top man. Last season, he looked like he was doing the job. But you look at what Garnacho's doing, who is not—he's not even a leader. He's one of the youngest players in the attacking line. He's 19 years of age, 20 years of age. He's a young lad. Like, he's around the same age as me, and I'm 19. And that's how old Alejandro Garnacho is. Which is crazy, like crazy to think that, honestly, mental stuff. And for me, I really do worry because Rashford overthinks. He doesn't do the right things this season. Garnacho just puts his head down, gets stuck in, and puts the ball in the back of the net. Unlike Rashford, Anthony, Rasmus, and. Look, maybe Højlund needs more service too. He does. So I can't really be critical of him totally, but the chances that Rasmus has gotten, I'm like, how are you not finished? He had about 2 or 3 against Wigan. And the other team, and the other striker will put that in the back, isn't it? That's probably one of our biggest problems is the attack. That's probably one of our biggest problems. Never mind the midfield or the defence or Andre Onana in net, who's been a problem. Focus up top, What's it? Defence wins you games. What's it? Attack wins you games, defence wins you titles or something like that. We're not even scoring goals, so what else is there to go by? But yeah, Dimitar Berbatov spoke more about Rashford. He says you need to know games like this will happen, missing penalties, missing goal-scoring chances, having bad and good days. So you need to believe and back it up on the pitch. Marcus Rashford needs to be careful. These small bills don't become big ones with the majority of fans, and how do you stop that? He says just play good football. But that's the most difficult thing sometimes because you can overcomplicate it, overthink it, and you can get in a circle of not knowing how to get out of it. He says after that you suffer, and I hope Marcus Rashford, who's mature enough in my opinion after playing for Manchester United for so long, knows how to get out of that cycle and produce last season's form. He says he's young, but he's got a ton of experience because he's been there his whole life. I expect him to lead on the pitch, and when I see him now, I have to ask myself what is going on. I ask myself, I agree with Berbatov there. Just play football. But it's pretty much what I always say. Just do the simple thing. Like when we do the simple thing, we score. When we overcomplicate things and have to do all this magical stuff, it just doesn't work out. And the attack has let us down in games. You look like we're relying on McTominay to score goals when he's on the pitch. And Bruno Fernandes. Dalot scored for us the other day on Bruno. They're not attacking players. Bruno's an attacking midfielder. Diogo Dalot is a right back. McTominay is a midfielder. Come on, man. It does worry me. He also spoke about just a few words about Martial. He says, unfortunately, he hasn't reached the heights everybody expected from him, and there comes a point where you need a new challenge. Something that can motivate you. I think it's time and the best for everybody. Again, I agree. I think Martial should move on. I think, the news today, him rejecting the move and wanting to stay at Manchester United until the summer is ridiculous. But you look at how much he's getting paid and, he's getting away with a lot of things and, he basically robs a living. It's ridiculous. But the attack is a big problem. But again, how do you think this attack can improve? Do we need to sell a few attacking players? Should Rashford go? Should Anthony go? Should Hoyland go? It's a question. I'm not saying we should, but let us know in the comments. Because a lot of people are getting impatient about Anthony and Rashford already. So again, that's understandable. Everyone has an opinion, but I want your opinion. That's what I want. Now, debate time. We're going to speak about the man, the myth, the legend, Erik ten Hag. So just a reminder that Man United be Spurs on Sunday. Erik ten Hag will have the highest win percentage out of any Manchester United manager. Manchester United so far this season in the Premier League are 9th place with a goal difference of -5. Our next 4 games is Tottenham, Eastleigh or Newport. Who else is it? Wolves and West Ham. Tottenham's going to be tough. We should beat Newport or Eastleigh. Wolves will be tough, and West Ham will be tough. But I think I think we'll beat Tottenham. We'll beat Newport or Eastleigh. Wolves, we may get a point out of it, and West Ham, we may get a point or a win because that game. So Tottenham's at home. The FA Cup tie is away. Wolves is away, and West Ham is at home. If we lose 3 out of those 4, because we should win the FA Cup tie regardless of how good or bad we're playing and regardless of who's manager, we should beat them. I worry about Ten Hag because I like Ten Hag. I back Ten Hag. People keep asking me on numerous shows, when are you going to be Ten Hag out? Are you Ten Hag out now? And what I say is you have to give the man time. Like I'm not going to say I'm not going to say on a Saturday give him time and then I want them out on a Sunday. Then I'm just being hypocritical. Then I'm not listening to myself. I'm ignoring myself. So I back him, and I don't be influenced by others. What I see, and I don't feel sorry for Ten Hag. Again, some of the decisions he does, I question. And if we don't win our next 4 or 5 games, we lose them, or just if we don't win any of our next 5 games, we should be Newport or Eastleigh. But you pull that game out of it. If you don't win our next 3 or 4 in the Premier League, which is the only competition we're in, besides we're only in 2 competitions now, Premier League and Carabao and FA Cup. If you don't win our next 3 or 4 games in the Prem, well then what happens there? If we get knocked out against Newport or Eastleigh in the FA Cup, I mean, God forbid, Ten Hag, that's all I say. You look at Ten Hag last season, we know what he can do, but this season is just not going. It's like player power again. And I don't want player power to get another manager gone. I don't want player power to get another manager sacked, because we've seen it with take David Moyes out of it. I just don't think he was a good manager. That's just my opinion. But you look at Van Gaal, Jose Mourinho, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, even Ralph Rangnick, he turned on him in the end after a 6 months kind of interim role. And then Ten Hag, we do well in a 4th season, smashing it, everything's looking promising, and then this season the players just look like, yeah, get it gone. People like, I honestly, I'm not being selfish, I'm not being rude, but I just don't want player power to be getting another manager sacked. I mean, say what you want about Ten Hag. Ten Hag may be the problem, Ten Hag may not be the problem, but I just think the players aren't helping him. I mean, come on, like. I just don't get it. I mean, people are kind of saying, where's the style of play with Ten Hag? How can you have a style of play with the players we have? Again, people are saying, but Ten Hag came in and, it's like he insulted Manchester United and saying, I can't play, the way I can't play the football at Ajax. I can't play the football at Manchester United like I did when I managed Ajax. Because he's inheriting a squad that, Solskjaer, Mourinho, but more importantly, Solskjaer, and I'll say a bit about Mourinho as well, and Van Gaal, if you want. He's inheriting them. If Ten Hag came in and he could get rid of whoever he wants and bring in whoever he wants, I guarantee you we wouldn't have half of the players we do. We'd still have Onana. I think it'd still be Dalot. It'd be Leach, and I'd say it'd be someone else. I don't even think he'd have a Rand there, that's being honest. He'd still stick with Luke Shaw, I'd say. I think he'd still have Manu in there. I don't even think he'd have Casemiro in there. He'd be probably looking at bringing in Frankie de Jong. I think he'd still have Bruno in there. On the left, I don't think he'd have Rashford there. I don't think he'd even have Rasmus up there. And Anthony, he may still have him there, but who knows? He may stick with Ahmad. But I do think he'd bring in a lot of players. I can't say who he'd bring in, but it's just for me, the players aren't helping either. With Ineos who are in, we could lose against Tottenham, and then he could be sacked on the Monday or the Tuesday. That's just how things can go. Because after this game against Tottenham, Manchester United have a week off, so you can do whatever you want in that week. But for me, it's a question: do you think Ten Hag is on too nice? I do think he'll still be Manchester United manager in the summer, and I hope he is because I back him. But again, if things don't improve, maybe I don't think I'll ever say I want Ten Hag out now. I just think I'll say, yeah, maybe questions. Maybe he's just not the man for the job. That's what I'll say. But again, let us know what you think. Is Ten Hag on too nice? Again, like I said, it was a bit of a news roundup / it is a debate. You see a lot more debates being included if there's not much news to talk about. So I do apologise. It's a show we want to do every nightly, and I didn't want to not have to do it tonight because of less news. But that's been the Manchester United news roundup on the United Way. Please like, comment, share the video around, hit that bigger subscribe button, let us know your thoughts in the comments of the news, and see you on the next one. Bye-bye for now. Have a good one.